How often do you try and sit down to go and do work, but you just struggle to keep your focus on the work itself? I struggled almost every day with this, trying to do the work, but it was just impossible to focus until I made these three simple changes in my life. Right? Over 90% of people these days are doing at least one of these habits daily, and they're making it impossible for you to actually build up your focus. Right? If you're doing one of these, and if you've been struggling, these three things are the reason. And by eliminating them and fixing that, you will make focus 100 times easier for yourself. If you don't know me, my name's Andrew, and I help ambitious, driven people transform themselves through work and become elitely focused here on this channel and with my personal coaching. So if you're interested, like and subscribe and stick around. Now, most of the world today is blinded to self-improvement as a whole, which is actually a good thing for you, because this also means that most of the world isn't trying anything to get ahead or make themselves better besides following the path that's put in front of them, right? The mainstream media path. And there's nothing wrong with that, but nobody else is really going to try and get past you besides a certain group of people, right? So naturally, most people are doing tons of habits that destroy their mental health and their ability to focus all in one. And I used to be in that crowd, one of those people. But if you can implement these three changes, at least one of them, into your life, you will see a change and become more focused than 90% of the world. And if you can implement all three, it's going to be a drastic difference, night and day, in your ability to focus. So, first up of the three changes that you're going to make is something that I've said time and time again. But to illustrate this truly, I need to tell you a story. Now, in high school, it was during that whole 2020 indoor period, right? I was in my basement every day for about 6 months at that time, just like most people who were just trapped in their houses. But as a teenager, I was literally just sitting there wasting my days. And typically, you would think that with so much time available to me, I would have improved at something, right? I should have improved something or picked up a skill, right? But I spent each and every day trying to get better at something, but it wasn't something that was good for me. It was video games, specifically Warzone. Right? I played this game every day and I wanted so much to just get better. So I invested time every single day and day and day. And by the time that school started to roll around again and kick up, I could barely focus on anything that wasn't the game. I couldn't focus on my teacher. I couldn't focus on work. I had fried my brain from just playing Call of Duty Warzone over and over and over again. So the first thing you need to do is not make that same mistake that I did, and drop the video games if you have an addiction, like a serious addiction where you're committing multiple hours every single day, right? You don't need to drop video games entirely. Like, I see this a lot, right? Video games are demonized. And that's because you can just waste hours and hours and hours a day and have negative effects on your mental health. But realistically, an hour here and there is not going to hurt you and is a good way to just enjoy life, right? Some games are meant to be enjoyed. People put a lot of effort into them. But if you're doing an hour a day, like every single day or more, it's time to make a change in your schedule. These are something that should be enjoyed, not a mandatory staple in your day. If you're getting like literally upset because you don't have the time to play the game, that's how you know it's time to make a change. Right? So they seriously damage your ability to focus, and just dropping this one thing, you will see a change within a week of how well you can focus, how well you can stay in the moment. And it's going to make work a lot easier, literally within a week of changing this habit. Now, let me ask you something. How often do you go to do work and you have your phone on you? Now, I made this mistake I a million times, an infinite amount of times. I can't even count it. And it cost me so many hours of productive time that it's really sad to think looking back. Right. Focus as a whole is something that you're using all the time, right? Focus is like a spectrum. It's not a binary thing where you're either focused or you're not. It's just where your focus is and how focused are you. So the more you stay focused on one thing, the more focused you get, the higher levels of focus you start to reach. And that's just kind of how focus functions naturally, right? That's the point of meditation. The longer you sit there, if you're actually focusing, the deeper you're going to get into that meditation. The same thing is how you function here with work. And when you have your phone on you and you take it out during work, it immediately resets your focus back to level 1. You don't even have to do anything crazy. You could literally just check the screen and look at notifications that you got, not even read them. Just check the screen and see the notifications, and you're going to destroy your focus. And 99% of the time, you're also not going to stop at just checking the notifications. You're going to read it. You're going to check on something else. You're going to go on Instagram because your friend sent you something, and then you're going to end up scrolling for a couple minutes, right? It's going to take away from the work itself, because 9 times out of 10, the phone is more stimulating than the work, but it's not better for you. It's not better for getting the work done. It's not better for keeping your focused mind, and it's not better for building focus. It makes focus harder in every way because it's so stimulating. So keep that phone either off, like in a bag away from you, or literally in a separate room when you're working, so that you don't have distractions during your work and the work time is work time. You're not juggling between trying to do work and also checking a million notifications. If you've made it this far and you haven't gone scrolling for other videos in the sidebar or looked at other apps on your phone, then your focus is truly higher than most people. And you're actually ready for the final change that you need to make that makes focus easy. And that is waking up 20 to 30 minutes early for a morning meditation. And before you click off, I know, before you click off, just know that without this, it doesn't matter if you implement those other changes, more or less, you will still be where you are today for months, if not years. And that's simply because the other things that I mentioned help make getting into that focus state easy, but it's not going to improve your focus. This is going to make getting into that focus state easier, and it's going to build up your level of focus, which is what you want to make work easier. The higher level focus you have, the more productive you can be. And this literally cultivates focus for you. At the same time, if you commit to a sort of morning meditation like this, it makes the rest of your day feel so much easier and much more calm and put together, because you spent those first 30 minutes of your day sitting there quietly training your mind. So everything else is going to seem much more easy to handle, much less of a struggle, and you're going to be much more mentally prepared for the challenges of your day. So if you not only want to build this focus and make it easy for you, but you also want to just live a better life and enjoy your days more, then wake up 20 to 30 minutes earlier and start doing this morning meditation, right? It's honestly a super big hack for anyone who just wants to have an easier day and has time to do so while also building your focus, which I know you do have the time if you're watching this video. If you want to improve your focus more, join my free focus community in the second link. And if you are really struggling and you want to fast track your progress to becoming elitely focused and becoming a hard worker and overcoming whatever issues you have in your work, then schedule a call with me, first link in the description. Well, I'll help walk you through that transformation. With that being said, I hope this video is valuable. I hope you enjoy. And as always, stay blessed.